Hello everyone, I'm Grandmaster Mon Hambleton and welcome back to Building Habits. In this series, I'm going to teach you some fundamental habits to improve your chess game instantly. Starting as if I'm a complete beginner, I'm going to climb up the ranks using only these simple habits. However, to keep it realistic, I have to follow a strict set of rules to simulate what it's like playing at each level. Remember, the goal is not to win every single game, but to teach you fundamental, high percentage moves that are correct most of the time. As my rating rises, the habits will become more advanced and the limitations will start to fall off naturally. We are at level 2 of building habits, which means the biggest differences from level 1 are pre-moving when you're low on time and learning basic tactics. This is a huge addition, so you need to study your tactical patterns. These 2 changes will make a big impact in your games. Now, let's get into the chess and learn how to build good habits together.
We are 1,000. Let's get into our first 5-minute game here. All right. So what do we got here? Pawn in the center. I think we're good enough to match that. Now, this bishop move has actually been, it's never really thrown us off in practice, but been thinking about it and I was like, wait a minute, if I bring this knight out, maybe the guy tries to trick me with that. So I'll start bringing with this knight. I think that's the way to do it. Let's try it. And then this knight, something like that. Okay, then the bishop out. This doesn't look that bad. Getting castled. Feels like all of our pieces are kind of happy. And pawn to h4. So you're telling me that this guy plays e4, bishop c4, like c3, very positional, very slow, everything methodical. Oh, just d3, sir, nothing to see here. h3, just getting the snorkel, like nothing, no problems, castles, bishop here, h6, everything by the book. And then h4. What is this guy? Is he real? I don't know where he gets this type of aggression from. Normally, people that play with this type of crazy aggression, they're actually playing like manic the entire game. So I'm just not used to seeing such a positional, slow approach and then such a crazy move. Okay, I respect you, Kleben. Well, naturally, is our first foray against a 1,000. We are excited to take our first free piece. Hooray. No, 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 no. Yes. Give me those free pieces, 1,000s. I don't have any bright ideas. We took a free piece and but he's just better. He's just better. What can we say? Can't move either one of these. I mean, what do we have here? Absolutely nothing, folks. We may as well go down playing habits the way we started. First game of the day as well. Obviously, if this was any other game, we would have been fine, but first game of the day, so yeah. Obviously, that's why we lost. Let's just head on into the next one. You know, we'd be reviewing this. This looks important, but it was the first game of the day, so it's obvious that that's why we lost. No need to check further. Knight out. And the other knight follows. And the bishop comes out. This is starting to be just easy to play. Yep, takes. And the knight goes into the middle. First squares I'm going to look for. Easy. Okay, takes. Okay. You know, can make a case here for a nice little pin. I don't disagree. You know, a little basic tactic right there. Of course, we want to just get castled, but I'm not going to sit there and say no to a little tactic there. Okay, the pawn goes up. I mean, okay, let's see what we can do. What I don't like is I don't really like moving pawns like that. right? Moving pawns like that to hit the knight. These pawns, they're kind of important. So not really on that train as much. He goes pawn there. Well, we got a free piece to take, so we take those. Takes here. Let's recapture into the center. We want to get castled. We want to make sure to play all those habits moves that we know. This is a capture, so let's go ahead and do that. Fantastic position here, nothing wrong with it. Looking absolutely unassailable with 0 issues. All right, well, let's go ahead and get castled. Bishop takes, let's make sure to get that snorkel in there. Bishop out into the middle, controlling the center. Okay. Queen is hitting our bishop. It is time to move this thing. Let's go into the center. Always nice to go into the center of the board where possible. Okay. I'm not going to think twice about a trade here. We have this bishop. Let's move it into the center. Let's get our rooks into the middle. And yeah, position looking pretty decent here. Here we go. And then maybe some good old RPMs. Position looking great if you ask me. All right, here we go. Fire them up here. One at a time, one at a time. Well, would you look at that? Sending our RPMs up the board may be the most effective strategy here. Oh, okay. Oh, my friend. My friend. Oh. It just, when it rains, it pours. When it rains, it pours. Not only the free queen, but then the rook. I mean, it's just pouring here. Okay, our queen is under attack here. Let's save this. Let's go towards the center here. Okay, our rook's attacked. Let's also move that bit central here. We didn't have to work too hard this game. I felt we were in control since the start. Okay, in the middle here, let's a nice center pawn. Nom nom nom. Okay, we're gonna put this queen. Let's stay in the center. Okay, I guess we'll use our snorkel here. I think I just wanted to use the snorkel, you know? Felt good about that. Ooh, with my hawk-like vision, we're able to find a nice fork here. Take that, which coincidentally is another fork. We're just cleaning up against the guy here. Absolutely, just give me all that. Give me all that. Oh yeah. And the king goes up. So we have to checkmate this king. And how the heck are we gonna do it? Obviously, we need another queen. There's no other way to do it. It's impossible that we could checkmate with these pieces. Another queen is necessary. And we're gonna make sure to bring these queens together, right? And stack them up and bring them down the board for a nice checkmate pattern. I like the look of that. We got a queen in the endgame, we got a pawn, and make another one, and just diagonal staircase them down the board, and we hit 1000 ELO. Unbelievable, huge dub right here. Important checkmate pattern. Your opponent doesn't have anything. I mean, you got an extra queen and you even have pawns to promote. Get 2 queens and you'll pretty much always have a checkmate if you diagonal them down the board. Doesn't matter, they could start back here. this is a foolproof checkmate right there. Because this queen covers all these squares. We don't even need the rooks on the board. This queen covers all these squares. So where can the king be? It can really only be here. But then when I make this move, the queen is still covering all these squares. And now we're covering these ones, so the king can only be here. And then when I make the next move, the queen's covering all these ones. And the king can never go up the board, so it always has to keep going down. And then once we come here, obviously every square is covered. There's nowhere to go. Now that I'm 1,000, I can't wait to use this some more. We are once again against the 1,000, and what the heck 1,000 are we up against? Pawn up there. Let's just focus on our game here. Queen there. Okay. We got to block the check, so do something, right, in order to get us castle. Okay, that's a trade. We need a pawn in the middle, so let's go ahead and do that. We can improve our bishop play. Oh. Hold on. Red dot, red dot. We're not going to be forgetting our basic rules here. Pawn up. We have our snorkel. Bishop out. I think we can improve our bishop to actually hit the center. We do want to improve this bishop, but okay, we can't really go there. So maybe bishop here. Yeah, we don't really have that available, but you know, we could jump all the way out to our nice level 2 square right here and hit that queen and, you know, ask it where it's going. We don't have this one available, so you know, nice little level 2 move right there. And oh, nice. A happy little accident. It's as easy as that. The habits once again lead us to trapping our opponent's queen. They are unstoppable. Into the middle. Okay, knight coming out. We got the other one as well. 2 knights hitting the center. Can't complain. Okay. Get castled nice and early here. Here? Or maybe here. Maybe a little more aggressive. Okay. I mean, why not? We're castled and the opponent still hasn't made any claim to the center. I'll be a little more aggressive in level 2. Okay, the knight is out. Because he's hitting a pawn here, I'll probably develop my bishop to the center and also protect it. Meanwhile, snorkeling up next, pretty much guaranteed. I mean, he might have a move for us, but this is a good example. Like, I'll react because it's a capture, but it's nice. I already know my next move. It's in my pocket here. I'm just waiting. You know, if he takes like this, okay, it's another capture, but I'm still waiting. That's another capture, but I'm right here. I'm right here. We already know. And yet another capture. Bishop's being attacked. Let's venture into the center. First place I'm going to look all the time. And how about a rook into the center? We already know. You know, queen's coming up, rook into the center as well. Okay, hold. Red dot. Okay, that looks like a trade right there. Queen needs to move up into the center. I don't really have this square available, so I'm going to choose this one instead. Red dot. Queen or rook aimed at your king with only one of your pawns in the way. Okay, let's continue to bring our pieces in. I'm pretty happy with this position. He's pushing the pawn up. Not really sure what's going on there. So, it is time. Knight into the middle, attacking the queen. Let's move our queen and stay central and, dare I say, even offer a queen trade? Oh, what a beautiful, beautiful thing. Endgame, hit me with it. What are we supposed to do now? Endgame habits. We only have a couple of them. It's really not too many, if I may say so myself. King to the middle, Finish stacking the rooks. Obviously, we got some RPMs, but definitely I'm looking at my king. That king is quite far away from the action. Okay, that's a capture. Just go ahead and do that. Yeah, definitely a bring the king in type of mission. Knight attacked. We go central all the time. Okay, my opponent seems to be moving his king away while I'm moving my king towards. I'm just saying, it's possible that this works out for us here. I'm getting a decent feeling about this one, guys. Let's finish stacking our rooks here. And because I really want to get into the middle, an RPM like this to make his knight move away might be exactly what the doctor ordered here. Okay, all I needed to do was just breathe the idea into existence. Just talk about the knight moving and he moves it for me. Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, he's moving the knight a lot, but my king's getting right up into the middle, and that's all I'm looking for. Okay, now that we've got our king more or less in the middle, what else? I mean, what else do we need to do in an endgame? Obviously a capture here. King's being hit. I'm looking at a nice little rook trade here in the center as well. Okay, I'm once again looking for a rook trade. Okay, appreciate that. We like trades all the time. We're getting to that feeling where I'm like, kind of feels like I'm up material here. Like I got 3 pieces actively working here. That's what it feels like to me. So, got our king. Our pawns are no longer in front of our king, so they can definitely be moved, right? RPMs. I'll definitely make a trade. Our knight's just kind of sitting there. I haven't really touched it in a long time. That's fine. Trades at all times. And when you're really down to that pure endgame, I mean, this is sort of the move the king territory. Like, pick a pawn and just run up to it. Look at the difference between our kings here. Right? His king was in the corner, mine was in the center, and so obviously I'm able to reach this square a little bit faster. We'll go ahead and take this. We'll go ahead and take this. Okay, let's see. Our king's in a pretty good spot here. Not necessarily excited to move it, but okay, it goes here. Guess we can just try to use our king to take some pawns here. What can we do? Try to take a pawn yet again. This is our endgame special. Anytime you see a pawn that can be targeted, target it. Okay, take that one. Just gonna vacuum some pawns off the board here. I mean, I guess we're just gonna hunt this one down. Like, okay, gonna move our king here. I mean, I guess we start pushing. I'm wondering what we should be doing. Okay, knight check. Let's push our pawns here. Feels like at many moments our opponent could under attack again. Feels like at many moments our opponent could have taken our pawns there. Okay, hang on a sec. This guy plays pretty fast. Trying to stay near our dang pawns here. Push. Oh my god. This guy's attacking everything. Okay. At this point, I think we just have to push. Whoa. That's for me. That's for me. Push. Whew. Whew. Looks like I did my homework. I don't know about you guys, but at least I reviewed it. I reviewed it. Did we all take a look? Don't tell me you haven't reviewed it. You think you need to be a GM to replicate this technique? Not at all. You just need to know the technique, and it's so learnable. We kind of shuffled our pieces here, and look, even shuffling when we were here, I was thinking, oh, maybe the king is going to end up down here. It doesn't always work out that way, right? But I got my king here, then I realized, oh, the king's on this side now. Let me put the queen there. But as you guys saw, it doesn't always work perfectly. But you're pre-moving. You have to. You're not going to win the game unless you're pre-moving. But even after a failed attempt here, what did we do? We just brought the king to another square, tried again on this side. And look, this time it worked. We did our waiting king move, so we know exactly which square he's going to go to. That means I can pre-move my next move and then replace the queen with the king. And then checkmate is always found on the exact same square. Every time. So this is a great example because it shows that it's not perfect. Of course it's not. The king I thought was going this way, then it was going that way. So we got our queen to this square. That was wrong. No problem. Just shuffle down to this square. Give it another try. You're not going to have a better attempt to win the game. Trust me. This is your best shot. Waiting move. Could have been this one as well. Wouldn't matter. The next moves are going to be identical. And that's it. Okay. We're playing Westly so. Not to be confused. The knights are both hitting the center. That's a capture we'll happily make. Get our bishop out there. Hitting the center. And crucially, always making these trades happen, Let's see if Westly is an issue here. We have our pawn in the middle. We have our snorkel. That was taken at light speed. I don't have time to breathe here. It's my first game of the day, bro. Give me a second. Like I'm still waking up here. Okay, let's not panic. Let's just think about the habits. What have they told us to do against this sacrifice? Surely we have something buried in our cerebellum that we can access. Attack sends you into panic mode. It should. You know what comes from panic? Resourcefulness. I mean, blunders do as well, but we're focused. The glass is half full today. Knight h2. Replacing some of the shelter in front of the king. There's only two main ideas that we look at. This one, in order to maybe bring a bishop back and shelter our king that way, or this one to shelter our king like this. Why do we bother doing this? Because after you bring the knight back, let's just talk about it. Your queen is going to be situated usually on the starting square, which means no matter which side you are, your next move is probably going to be to bring that queen out because you're always looking for that queen trade. Our opponent has just played d5. Bring our queen out and offer a trade. It helps if you say please. Why not force the trade on g4? There's so much you guys have to understand. I wouldn't expect you to. Wouldn't expect it. That's why you're there and I'm here. But
So much to understand. Such a young group of individuals here. We'll just go ahead and take this. All right. Well, bishop needs to move. This hits the rook. Remember, I just don't want to play here or here. This I can see walks into that. So, you know, yeah, I consider this move. But if I need to move again, most likely I'll just go back to this square. You know, I'm not trying to be a hero here. Okay, let's bring some rooks into the middle here. Okay, our knight into the middle. Always check those squares first. There we have it. Bishop needs to move. And again, this looks like the most kind of central square. You could argue for this, but we're not really pinning anything there, so I'm not that excited about that idea, you know? Got our rooks into the middle. Okay, pushing the pawn up here. This looks like a pawn we can take, so, okay. This looks like a piece we can take, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. Okay, let's time for some RPMs. Okay. Capture that. Yes, we will. Okay. Pawn up and well, we're able to maybe utilize that our opponent has provided no snorkel. No snorkel. Hang on a sec. We can't let that go unpunished. Yeah. My snorkel won your piece earlier. Your snorkel doesn't exist. And that is game 1. I mean, it's just that goddamn easy. It is just that easy. I mean, talk about the inexperience of youth. Queen G4, you guys are hilarious. You guys are hilarious. Why not with check? I mean, I wouldn't think that this needs explanation. If you check, then your opponent's going to take your queen, and you're going to take it back. If you go here, you get the entire queen for free. Like I said, advanced concept, wouldn't expect you to understand. Guys, let's not try to be heroes here. We're going to meet our friend in the middle there. Okay, the knights come out, the bishop goes next. Then our pawn, our bishop here, and we have the move knight e5. We're getting used to this, especially with our pieces placed like that. We do need to take it, but not that easy to take with the knight. So it becomes one that we capture with the bishop. And in this case, it's going to just be capture, capture, capture. Into the center with the knight. Capture once again, castle, and our snorkel, not to be forgotten. Rook into the middle. We got our queen coming up next. Our rook sliding over. And that's pretty much that. Okay, we have b4. Oh, okay. Let's get all those pieces in. Okay, pawn up. I guess it's time for the RPMs. RPMs. And folks, we're really just here counting down, waiting for rook b1, you know. Will it happen now? Will it happen later? When will this coveted move occur? Okay, there's the queen. Let's finish up our RPMs here. Random pawn moves. That's what RPM stands for. They're beautiful, beautiful things. Okay, pretty much done our RPMs here. I'll maybe start by attacking that. Let's see what we can do. Queen trade, but tough to do. There's a pawn here that I'm already thinking, okay, we could kind of get in front of it, stack the rooks up. It is a pass pawn, like it's something we need to keep in mind. And that's going to be a trade in the center. Happy to do that. I also suspect the bishop will capture, and there we go. Okay. Yeah, I guess let's kind of double in front of that
that pass pawn feels like a decent plan. Keeping that pawn in mind. As soon as there's like a runaway pawn, you always stick a rook in front, double it up. So wasn't 100% sure what to do in this game, but we got all of our random pawns up there. Always open for a trade. Here's a nice trade right there. Trying to keep the game simple. Trying to keep it simple. Okay, goes there. Let's attack this. We got a nice capture there. He's bringing the king. Guess what? We're doing the same. Sorry, never mind. I thought he was bringing the king. He's just moved the king one square and then he's moving a bunch of pawns. Well, here I go. I mean, it's not gonna be surprising what my moves are, right? King up and then take the damn pawn. This is not shocking. All right, capture, always a capture into the center. It's amazing the power of kind of bringing the king in. That's I don't know, but he started moving pawns. And ladies and gentlemen, we did it. We got our opponent to resign in a drawn position. It's a draw. He just resigned and it's a draw. That's it. Nothing much to it. The power of the habits. I mean, the boys are just resigning out here. Absolutely ludicrous to consider resigning against the one that, like, you've lost your damn mind if you're out here just playing to resign. Like, this is never guaranteed. We're up against Jay Chan. Okay. It's just two knights, pawn in the middle, bishop out. That's it. Get castled. Now this is something that's hit us a few times. This setup right here, our opponent has taken advantage of us too many times. We need the queen side snork for this. We cannot fall victim to this. Right? So now we have a place to put that thing. Let's castle, bishop here. Interesting. Let's get our real snorkel in there, not to be confused. And I was thinking of playing a little d3 here, but you know, we can get the pawn into the middle fully. He hasn't really done anything to stop that. So let's go for it. Let's go for it. What comes next? This bishop. Can it go here? No. Here looks pretty good. We could also pin. I think both of those ideas look quite reasonable. Okay, bishop's coming back. Let's go ahead and get this bishop. I mean, it could really go anywhere, but I think this looks pretty nice. Hitting the center. And an age-old idea. It feels like we hit probably 4 or 5 games in a row that really gave us PTSD. And I remember them vividly. It really hurt us. So bad that we immediately had to go into the lab and workshop something. And when the queen and bishop line up like this, they're always threatening to go to the max distance on that diagonal, which is a huge issue. In this case, it's an issue because it's checkmate. So yes, the rare case of the super snork. We don't feel great about this, but we know that it has to happen. The super snorkel. And believe me, this is gonna cause other problems in our position, but it's just something we gotta do because we're not about to sit here and allow that to happen. So in comes the super snorkel. Extra room, lots of air to breathe, but comes with some weaknesses. So we don't love doing this, but sometimes it is absolutely necessary. Knight here. Let's go ahead and just bring our rooks into the middle of the board. Aha. Well, we'll definitely take a free piece here. Okay, let's run for the hills. Let's run for the hills. Go easy on me, pal. Okay. Maybe a draw. You know, we've both been working hard here. No need to no need to overdo it, right? Okay, rooks being hit here. I can think of a couple decent ideas, but hitting the queen looks quite reasonable. I mean, I can actually only see one move, and after this, much as I don't like it, we gotta protect the snork here. So king up to protect that, I think is almost necessary. Okay, our queen needs to move. Let's stay central, I guess. Yeah, can't go into the center, so next best thing. Just do that. Okay, not gonna take that. What can we do? What can we do? I'm not too sure, to be honest. Let's just hit him with that RPM, random pawn move, because we don't know what to do at all. Ooh. Rook here. Honestly, looking pretty scary, but fact of the matter is, I got trades in front of me. I got trades in front of me here. Well, I'm not gonna move into a red dot, so yeah, we'll just I'll be going this way. Yeah, don't mind me. Just got this thing over here. Got to get to. Yeah, just to have this thing. Okay, let's take here. Okay, only one square. I'm taking everything I can. You know, I'm working hard here. Okay, I got no movement with the king. So this is the only move that does not lose material right now. Let's see. Okay. We're still on the run here. We're still on the run. And you know, even if you're getting attacked, you're completely dead. It's definitely why I recommend playing on, because you're either gonna get mated or maybe the guy's gonna let you off the hook. I don't know. He's attacking. I'm trying to run away to safety. I don't know. I'm hitting a rook. Let's not forget here. Yeah, a little squint. Yeah. Wait a minute. I didn't mean to do that. I squinted so far that my eyes closed. Bruh. Let's recompose. Okay, what's the damage here? Let's first get all these captures out of the way. Any capture, just take that to the middle of the board there. Yeah, any captures, we'll just get right on out of there. Big capture there. Opponent's thinking he's not planning on just taking our knight, which means I expect a big time move from the guy. I expect something big here. Whoa, now that's a big move. I mean, hey, buddy, that's a queen from you. What are we talking about here? Save our knight, not hang more material. Oh my God, it's insane. What? These people resigning, I have no words. We've got 24 seconds. How can you resign? I don't get it. I don't get it. You have to be able to look at this series honestly and say, if you don't resign, you're adding 100 points to your rating by definition. If you have a 42 second against 24 second position here against the 1000, is the 1000 winning every single time with white? No, definitely not. I mean, and this was after my huge mistake here. Taking, I did not mean to do that. Legitimate slip. And then the guy just like played a couple moves and he's completely winning here. He played a couple moves instead of taking our pawn. We just took, and the guy resigned. I mean, it's nuts because I'm 1002. Why are you assuming that I'm not capable of the same blunders? I am. We're the same rating. People blunder and then they resign because they assume that their opponent's not capable of the same thing. You're literally the same rating, brother. Pawn into the middle. Oh, that's it. A capture. Immediately take. The knights are going to come out. There's the queen. We don't like moving our queen this early, so I usually play the bishop instead, and then our other knight follows. Our king gets castled. I think you know that we're going to get a pawn into the middle of the board. We need some sort of claim, right, to the position. Get our snorkel in there. Rook into the middle. This bishop needs to move. It can't really make it into the center there. This bishop also needs to improve. Hang on a sec. Red dot. Get the heck out of there. No problem. This is a very, very useful move whenever a queen or a rook is aimed at your king with only your one pawn in the way or a piece in the way or something. That's a pretty scary spot to be in. You'd be doing well to get out of there. You don't do that, you're gonna get mated so many times like this. Oh my God. Moves the pawn up. What's needed here? More development. Let's get that bishop. Hitting the center square here. It's a little bit better than this, right? Also hits the center, but I'll always choose this over this, basically, if I have the option. In this case, our bishop's only developed here. This would hit the queen and also hit the center, so it's definitely on my mind, but bishop c4, just a more active square. Okay, it's moved here. Let's get our rook out. Queen up, rook over. And we can improve this bishop. It has moved already, so I'm focusing on my other pieces, but you know, we have good bishop moves to play. We know exactly what we want to do. Knight here, just gonna focus on our rook move. There we go. Into the center. Okay, our opponent plays knight takes c2, and with my hawk-like vision, I'm able to hit the queen and the knight at the same time. Nice little fork right here. And it's nice that it's almost the move I would play next anyway. Bring the bishop to attack the center. I mean, e2 is developed, but it's not where we want it to be. That's the center. I want it on one of those two squares. So not a very difficult move to play. Okay, but he's taking my rook. Sure. Happy to take that. Takes here. Let's go and take it back. All right, and what's the damage here at the end? Take it all in. We have everything kind of central. Let's hit those RPMs. Random pawn moves, don't forget. I don't even know the damage at the end. You know, like I don't know the result. But here we go. Okay, hidden the pawns here. You take black. Oh, I understand you. But obviously we've got the white pieces, so glass has to be half full here. Push the pawns, push the pawns. Once we're out of pawn moves, then we can start thinking more about trading and other things. Let's take, okay. Guess we can sort of finish up our RPM over here. Okay, queen needs to move. I usually kind of stick in the center, so I'll probably go here just for now. Just for now. Finish up our random pawn moves and also pieces into the middle. Okay, let's see what he wants to do. Ooh, fancy move. He's kicking me out of the center, which I don't enjoy. So let's examine how can we stay anywhere close to the center. I think probably the queen has to go back, right? You see this rook here, so all these squares are off limits. These squares are off limits. This square's off limits. It's tough. Like queen e2 kind of feels like the next best thing. Okay, bishop's being attacked. First thought is, you know, here because it offers a trade, but let's stick to the habits here. Bishop attacked. Let's go into the center of the board. Always the first place I will look. And we are immediately rewarded because this is the craziest move I could imagine. Yeah. Don't know how to explain that one here, folks. That's hanging multiple different ways. Knight e7 is a great fork. That's right. Now, should we be taking the rook but losing the knight, or should we be taking the rook and the guy doesn't have a snorkel? Wow. Take free pieces. This guy just needed a snork in there. Pawn to a6. He didn't have it though. And obviously, this pawn to a6 doesn't even feel like a snorkel, does it, guys? Because the king's not even there to take advantage of it. So that's why I always have us castling kingside in the series, because then when you make a snorkel, it's immediately Utah. It's much better. When you castle this side, you always feel a little airy over here. Like you kind of have to move your king and make a snorkel. It's a bit strange. So you're much better off castling kingside for the most part. Okay, into the middle. We match the knight. We match the bishop so as not to allow this. We've discussed this many, many times. Now it's safe so that we can castle. There we go. Okay, and let's get our snorkel out. Nice capture there for us. This pawn can go up. You know where else it can go? It can even go one square further. This is a perfectly fine move, but we're ready to move this pawn and we can safely move it into the center. That's a yes from me. Every time. Level 1, d6. Level 2, look for those d5 moments. Okay, let's take that. Queen needs to move. I can't go into the center, so next best thing, I guess. Queen here. What do we need to do? We need to move this bishop. These are the options. Okay, let's get that bishop out here. Hitting the center, of course. Knight out. Okay, let's get our rooks into the middle. Don't mind this at all. Not even thinking, it's just straight into the middle. Don't need to calculate too much. We have our snorkel here, so nothing to worry about with our king. Okay, queen's attacked. Do we have the center available? We do not. So probably just gonna go somewhere nearby. Hey, that's a trade. Perfect. Go ahead and do that. Take. Yep. We want to do all trades. Queen takes back. All right. What do we got now? Queen takes. I think it's time for our RPMs. Knight back. All right. Let's continue. RPMs. Random pawn moves. Okay. That's a capture here. Okay, let's just continue those pawn moves over here. Queen's being hit. Okay, it's kind of forcing me down the file here. I'm happy to take that. Okay, that's a trade. No problem. And he's coming in with the snorkel. But you see, he came in with the snorkel late. He had to do it there. So I would say things are working out reasonably. Let's get our king into the middle if we can. Okay, he's bringing the rook up. Can't really do much right now. Let's use our rook to attack some pawns. Okay, we can take that. Okay, he's going after us here. I can't even take this, honestly. So I think it's just time to get into the middle here. middle of the board, and I feel always good because, I mean, look, the guy's just not, he's not using his king. Okay, I got one pawn, right? We're obviously just pushing it up the board here. But you see what I mean? Like, this is the difference between you and the people at your rating. You are going to be using your king. It might look stupid. We have no pawns. Like, we lost this pawn, we lost this pawn, we literally lost every pawn. But you have to put a value on the king. Our opponent's king has not moved at all. Literally, he castled and he hasn't touched it since. There's a huge difference. Now, this is an example where our opponent's going to lose a rook, and the poor guy's like moving his king because he got checked, not because he decided to. I'm just saying, king activity, no one's doing. It's a damn shame. Okay, if we're trying to defend here, I feel like king, like in front of everything, is the way to go. So now we need this rook. Let's see what we can do here. Okay. Okay, we have a runaway here. Okay, we have a real runaway. Just keep our king kind of in front of the action here. Yeah, we got one. Okay, how do we take these? We're in front of the pawns, which is probably a good thing. So I guess we have to use the rook somehow. I'm not entirely sure. Okay, let's maybe come down here with the rook. King in front of the pawns is really the only thing we can really offer. Okay, we got another runaway. We got another runaway. And our opponent is going to resign because you know what? He knows that we know how to do this checkmate, don't we, guys? So many resignations, you're going to forget how to checkmate. That's why it's important to do the homework, work on it in the background, because the goddamn opponents are just resigning all the time. You're never going to get a chance to practice until you have to do it for real. Very nice. We are at 1100, 1102 to be precise. And most likely pieces to show up at the end of the game that you're going to need to mate with: rook and queen. We have a checkmate in place for both of them. Not bad at all. 1102, and we're on the up and up.